In this video, we're going to look at writing linear equations with some information that we're given. So we're going to start with writing our equations in slope-intercept form of an equation where our m is our slope and our b is our y-intercept. As long as I have a diagonal line, I can write its equation using the slope and the y-intercept. However, if I've got a horizontal line, remember horizontal lines go left to right, these always have a y-only equation. So our equation is just going to be y equals some number and no x's. Vertical lines, remember vertical lines are up, down, they always have an x-only equation. So we'll have x equals some number. Let's check out when we're given the slope and a y-intercept. In our first example, we have a slope of 1/2 and a y-intercept of 5. I'm just going to plug that into my equation, so I have y equals 1/2 x plus 5. I did plus 5 because my y-intercept is positive. In my next equation, I've got an undefined slope that's telling me that I have only an x equation and an x-intercept of 4. So I can imagine that this line is going to go through the x-axis at positive 4, be a vertical line, and its equation is x equals 4. In our next one, our slope is 0, so it's going to be a y-only equation with a y-intercept of 9. So I just write y equals 9. If this was on the graph, it would cross 9 at the y-axis and be horizontal. So I just have a y-only equation. And finally, in my last example, I have a slope of -2 and a y-intercept of -3. So that's a diagonal line with a y equals mx plus b equation. So I've got y equals -2x minus 3. If I'm using a graph, I can also get some details by looking at it. So I see my first one is horizontal, so I know it's going to be a y-only equation because its slope is 0. I count up 1, 2, 3, 4. My y-intercept is 4, so I've got y equals 4 as my equation. My next one, I can see starting off that my y-intercept is positive 1, and then I'm going up 1 over 2, up 1 over 2 in the positive direction, so my slope is 1/2. When I plug that into my equation, I have y equals 1/2 x plus 1. Again, plus 1 because my y-intercept is positive. The next case, I have a y-intercept that's also positive, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1. So my slope is -2. When I plug that in, I've got y equals -2x plus 4. And finally, I see a vertical line, so this tells me my slope is undefined and my equation is x only. To figure out my equation, I'm going to count from the center, my origin, left 3, so that gives me an equation of -3. Since b represents a y-intercept, we have no y-intercepts. I'll just put any there.